Hey guys, Happy New Year. It's 2025. I hope it's starting out well for you. We're doing okay here. Got a lot of things to update you on and talk about. Right now I'm headed down to feed the animals this morning. Hey guys. Hi Daisy. Hi Bella. Yes, Bella is in a kennel. I'll explain that in a minute. Hi Bella. Hi baby. I got a treat for you. I got a treat for you. What? Oh, I know. I know. Oh, got an itch. Hi, boys. Hey, sweet Daisy. Hi, baby. You know what? You're being rude. You're being rude. Just trying to pet you. Ollie's up for some pets. All right, we've got some ham trimmings for Bella. It might have been my imagination, but yesterday I thought I saw movement in Daisy's belly. So, maybe. So, why is Bella in a kennel? And why am I in here with her? Well, giving her some attention, first of all. She's in the kennel because she has run away a couple more times since Christmas Day. The first time was a few days ago. I came down here to give them the breakfast and she was gone. And this time, on Christmas Day, we had her out in the whole property and she found a way out. I still haven't figured out how. But this time, she was locked in the pasture and she has not escaped from the pasture since I fortified it after we got home from vacation. So she escaped from the pasture and then from our property. And then yesterday morning, I woke up to my neighbor calling saying that she had her next door locked in her driveway because she was running down the street. So we can't have that for safety reasons. So we have a two-prong approach to this. First is the kennel for now. And then we have an appointment for a little minor surgery to get her spayed. Now we've waited. We wanted to go through 2 heat cycles so that all of her joints were fully formed and she was fully matured. Giant dogs especially like Maremma sheepdogs. And she is a Maremma sheepdog. A lot of people have confused her with a Great Pyrenees. Very similar. Understand the confusion. So that's an easy mistake to make, but she is a Maremma sheepdog. But giant dogs, like either one of those dogs, they have a lot of joint problems. Hips especially. And a lot of those happen because they're just spayed way too early. The hormones stop flowing like they should to help develop her the rest of the way. So we wanted to wait as long as possible. But I think now's the time. She is full grown and she's getting a little bit sneaky. Wants to wander. And that's the thing about Maremmas versus Great Pyrenees, and why we chose the Maremma is because they have less of a tendency to roam. They respect fences more than a Great Pyrenees. But I think, sometimes hormones get the better of her, and we're going to fix that problem now. So for the next few days, until that happens, she's going to be in the kennel for her own safety. Now I've got something pretty cool and exciting to show you. If you remember a couple videos back, I finished the pasture, all the sprinklers were put in, and the seed was planted. Well, guess what? Take a look at that. It's finally happening. It's greening up. I can't wait to see it all grown in, but just even now, it gives you a preview of what will come when this is all green grass. Exciting. And if she knew what was happening, she'd be more excited than anybody. Here's another view from the banana walk. You can see over on the other side I had some gopher activity, but I'm happy to report I caught him yesterday. So Joel is coming over today to play, and we're going to be getting started on probably not finishing a job that has got to be done before we move the rest of this dirt to prepare for our future formal English garden and the orchard. Eventually, all of the dirt you see here will be brought down to this level, and that will be the level of this wall. Part of this wall is going to be taken out, and dirt is going to be filled in here to make sort of a ramp down into the orchard versus stairs. But in order to do that, I need a wall where you see this wet mark right there that kind of goes out so that it will keep the dirt from coming down this way. And it'll just kind of slope, the wall will slope down as the land does. So I've had the soaker hoses going this morning. I meant to start them last night, but forgot. So I'm hoping over the next few hours before Joel gets here that this ground will be a little softer and we can dig the trench where the wall will sit. Because I mentioned in the last video that the orchard, the trees, I'm buying bare root probably the end of this month, and so I have to have, you know, this area ready for what we got to plant. And that'll be plums, peaches, nectarines, cherries, pears, apples, all that good stuff. Bella's not the only one getting treats this morning. We got ham and bread. Ham bone. We have a ham bone. I made black-eyed peas yesterday for New Year's, and so the leftovers go to the chickens in terms of the bone. Let me know in the comments how many of you are from the South and black-eyed peas are a part of your New Year's Day tradition. So I wanted to talk with you guys about something. It's a subject that has come up over the last month or so. It's been asked repeatedly, and I have not addressed it up to this moment. And that is why I have not posted a video on Next Level Gardening in months. It's a fair question. The last video I posted there was in October. As many of you know, we've been derailed by some family health issues, but that's just a very small part of it. Usually every year in about August, I start to get garden burnout. I've done a video on it a few times, and through those videos I found out that I'm not alone. Garden burnout is a thing. This year in August, I pushed through it even though I was burned out. You know, here in Southern California, we don't get a natural break from gardening. We don't have, you know, months in the winter where we can't get outside. We garden 365 days a year here. And so even the most enthusiastic gardener can get burned out from time to time. But I pushed through this summer basically because it's my job, right? I make gardening videos. So I kept at it. And with ADHD, it's really hard to keep at something that you're not enthusiastic about. Whenever I'm overwhelmed or have something going on that's either taking my time or my attention, most of you are so supportive, and you know, you say, take a break, you know, do what you need to do. We'll be waiting for you whenever you get back. And that is so nice to hear. Unfortunately, the YouTube algorithm isn't that nice. The algorithm wants you to be consistent, be often, and be exactly what your viewers want. And it's pretty darn precise. You can't deviate from what you do, how often you do it, or how you do it very much. If you get out of that lane, you can take a major hit. When Next Level Gardening took off with that tomato video, it was amazing. Unfortunately, after that, I found it hard to gain traction with anything else. If I didn't post a tomato video, it didn't get out there for people to see. That's actually one of the reasons I started Tomato Tuesday not that long thereafter. And then whenever I deviated from the norm, maybe videos with a little more drama, like when I talked about my aneurysm issue, it got a fair amount of views, especially for that time period. But it wasn't what people wanted to see, so they just unsubscribed. Now, I've learned a lot through the years about how this all works, so I really had to rein in what I did and what I showed on Next Level Gardening, and I couldn't be creative. You needed to stick with what I had done all the way up to the point of being successful with the channel. So that led me to do the same subjects over and over again and make them more concise and shorter each time I brought a video out about a particular subject, which tightened the noose even further. Back in 2021, I saw these things starting to happen. I did a video on it at that time, announcing that I would be creating a new channel, this one. And from the moment I started this channel, I did what I wanted to do from the very beginning in the way that I wanted to do it. Now, that has led to a much slower growing channel than Next Level Gardening, but I'm okay with that because the majority of the viewers on this channel are here for a broad range of subjects. They're here for me, they're here for my family, they're here for the animals and all the crazy things that I do. And that's kind of who I want here. That's kind of how I am. I have a very few YouTubers that I watch, but I watch them for everything they do, not just for one particular video subject. So it's always a balancing act. But as far as Next Level Gardening, I usually take the month of December off. December is a downtime for gardening nationwide, pretty much in all the Northern Hemisphere. People are thinking about the holidays. People just aren't outside. And so usually I can take December off and YouTube kind of ignores it. Things start to go back up in January and then, we're off to the races again. And that always helps because then I can come back in January fresh and ready to go again. But this past year was different. I was kind of just going through the motions. And we're still talking about Next Level Gardening. I was like a trained hamster, give the algorithm what it wants, get a reward. Give the algorithm what it wants, get a reward. But the fun, the excitement, and the creativity that I've had for years was just gone. Now, I don't want you to feel like this is a downer video and I'm completely ungrateful. I am very grateful with what I have with Next Level Gardening. I know there are countless people who would love to have their income be YouTube. And so I don't take that for granted at all. And I'd much rather be a hamster on a wheel doing this than what I did in my previous job. But like any job, it does get monotonous, especially if you're a creative person like me and you have to be reined in to a specific way of doing something. Especially the maintenance of the channel, and that's the big thing, is maintenance. Trying to keep things fresh and new for your existing audience, but then doing kind of more and more of what brought that audience there in the first place to bring in more audience. Plus, trying to juggle 2 channels. Nobody ever told me how difficult that would be. And then just everything that has to be done around here. Now, for those of you who are worried, I'm not quitting Next Level Gardening. I don't want to, and I couldn't, even if I did want to. Next Level Gardening is 90% of our family's income. This channel is about 5 or 10%. Speaking of algorithms, you're learning a YouTube education here. So if you want to start your own channel, take notes. I just did a huge no-no in the YouTube world. You clicked on a video to find out probably if I was ever going to post again to Next Level Gardening. And now I've just answered that question and the video's not over. So a good chunk of people are going to get off right now. See, these are the things you have to think about because the more people that leave your video early, the worse your video does on YouTube. But for those of you who are still here, I'm not quitting. I've decided to change things up a little bit on Next Level Gardening and on this channel. Now, the first video of the 2025 season for Next Level Gardening will be tomorrow. So on that video, I'll let you know about all the different things I'm doing on that channel in the upcoming year. I'm going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to do things that I enjoy, that make me happy, that make me feel fulfilled. And we'll just see what the algorithm does. Now, if it completely tanks, I may go back to towing the line on that channel. Last year, if you remember, I started a series on gardening for free. Got a couple of videos into the series, and I thought they'd do great because everyone was complaining about the economy, and, well, they tanked. The algorithm didn't like it, and so I pulled it and just went back to what I had always been doing. And guess what? Views went back up. Well, this year, I'm going to give it more time. It'll be hard, but I've got to try. Now, to make up for that, because I'm sure views will go down on the other channel, I'm going to be changing some things on this channel. In the past, I made a conscious decision to not really delve into gardening on this channel. I mean, there was a few videos here and there, slightly, maybe a small part of the video. But I've come to realize, especially over the last couple of months, that most of you watching me right now are not homesteaders. You're watching, like I mentioned earlier, to see the animals, my family, what we're doing, the crazy projects that I do. But you're gardeners first. And one of the ways I figured this out is we started a community a couple months ago for Little Homestead Big Dreams. The idea was to be a place where homesteaders could come together. They could figure out where each other lives, if they live close to you, maybe meet up in person, get some more one-on-one time between me and my audience in a more private, smaller way. But what we learned in that community was 95% of those community posts have been gardening related. Now, the only thing that was a little bit of a wrench in the plans here was we had planned on doing a gardening community, next level gardening community in February, this coming month. But we've pretty much got a gardening community right now. So if you haven't heard, we've told members of that community, we are going to be rebranding the community. Instead of having two communities with the same stuff, we're going to rebrand that. So now it's going to be a next level gardening community with a small side section for homesteading topics. And, if you're already a member over there, really there's not going to be anything you have to do differently. You'll be getting an email on this. We might change the pricing. Not sure. We are going to be offering some more things to the next level gardening community than we were able to for the homesteading community, including master gardeners coming on board to be a part of that community, certified master gardeners there. So if you have issues, and we're looking to get master gardeners from all over so that we can have regional questions answered. I can't answer every question from every location on the globe or even in the country. So that's exciting to me. Plus a bunch of other things we have planned. So the price may go up a little bit. We're trying to keep it as affordable as possible already. But those of you who are members now, and those of you who joined before we do the switchover, which is January 11th, if we raise the price, you're going to be grandfathered in at the old price. So I'll put a link below so you can check that out. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so through the community, we found out that you guys, viewers of Little Homestead Big Dreams, are gardeners first. So going forward on this channel, Little Homestead Big Dreams, we're going to be doing some gardening, but not the way we have done it, staying in my lane on Next Level Gardening, sitting in front of a green hedge, talking about the subject while showing B-roll of me doing some things. That's the way the audience there likes it, and I really can't deviate too much from that. But on this channel, we're going to be tackling some gardening subjects while I'm in the garden working with you. And of course, that's in addition to the animals, to the family stuff, to Emily hopefully getting in the kitchen a little bit more on camera. In fact, in the comments, if you guys want to see that, why don't you encourage her there? And then, of course, all the other crazy projects that I do. And I'm really excited because that means I get to focus on this. If you don't know what this is, if you don't know what this is going to be, watch the last video. I'll put a link at the end of this video to that. So again, Happy New Year. I feel more excited, more hopeful going into this year with these two channels, especially on Next Level Gardening, than I have in a few years. So if you've stuck with me in this video this long, you are loyal and true friends indeed. And I love you. And algorithm be darned, this year we're going to have fun. I'll see you next time.